What's up, guys? It's Drac, and this is the Nerf Rebelle Flipside bow. Now, this is kind of neat. Now, Rebelle has had a long and storied history of using bows to appeal to all of the wannabe Katniss Everdeen's, at least in the America. The Hunger Games series was very popular, and so they figured that the best way to promote the Rebelle line for girls was to give them lots and lots of bows to play with. So this is no surprise that they've kept going and going and going, but this is a rehashing of kind of an idea that they found worked pretty well in the flip theory, which is revolving revolvers, basically, revolverception. So the premise here is that these are going to flip, and in doing so will make it. This is the very friendly, very helpful, do not cut the actual bowstring warning down there. But the hope here is that this will perform very well. Now, I have been constantly questing for something to perform like a thunderbow since the thunderbow came out, which is to say something that retains force and then releases, so something with stored energy. And so far the Rebelle line has not given me that. Now, one thing that I find very interesting is that it comes with 10 darts, which means that each one of these cylinders has 5. Why do strong arm size cylinders, which would normally come with 6 darts, have 5? Why are they going backwards for the girls line? That's very, very upsetting. Now, there's also a corner shot and an epic action bow, which is like a one-shot jolt style bow, and that does not seem very good. They are claiming ranges of up to 75 to 85 feet, with the majority of the shots getting ranges like that. Maybe with a tailwind I'd buy that, but I don't know. Now, as far as that goes, other than that, we have the traditional Rebelle styling where we airbrush these poor girls into looking like, well, something that they're not. At least this time, their nails look to be real instead of aftermarket. But the blaster itself has one trigger. That trigger exclusively actuates the rotating, and it's actually not very bad. It's got space for 2 fingers, and it doesn't come back so far that even if you choked up and had some overlap there, it doesn't hit my knuckle, which is excellent. Ambidextrous, of course, working both ways, which is nice, and not doing what I want it to. Here we go. So we've got our traditional tab here to pull, telling us kind of where to grip this bowstring, but you can hear that as it comes back, it releases just as quickly. Now, that tells me that there's a very small plunger in here. Despite having a ton of surface area to make something really cool, it just doesn't seem to want to get the job done. But we will fire it, test its performance. That's only fair. I'm going to go ahead and say that this is not going to be worth the rather extensive cost, but we've got to give it the benefit of the doubt and certainly test it. With so many lines out, it's no surprise that Hasbro is having trouble maintaining their usual quality and innovation in all of them, and sadly I think that the Rebelle line is suffering from cool things happening in Doomlands and Alien Menace and Zombie Strike and whatnot. I think that Rebelle just kind of gets the leftovers rehashed into frankly bow designs. So this is a Flip Fury with a terrible bow system going into it. But let's fire it at least 10 times, then we'll switch to some of our aftermarket darts and try those. So angled shots are getting about, that's like 50-foot shots. And I could just be not pulling it hard enough, but the last time I tried to really work one of these things, it broke on me. So that's about maximum draw. It's not a lot. And then firing a level shot is about 30 to 35 feet. And then, of course, we flip through so that our turret can keep going. Wow, that was terrible. So don't try and fire this fast because the rotation is built into the draw. So when you pull back, it rotates, and then you've of course got to be careful to make sure that you're actually chambering darts with every, I don't know what to tell you guys. It's an honest review, and the honest review is that this is a very bad blaster. Don't get this for your daughter. Don't get this for your Hunger Games fan. Buy her a Thunderbow. Toys should be gender neutral anyway, and the Thunderbow is most excellent, and at this point probably around the same price as this guy, if we're going to be completely honest. But we've loaded it up with some aftermarket darts and a Busby dart and some pretty worn elites, and we'll see if that improves anything. We'll take very slow consistent Yikes shots. I'm also whipping the crap out of my forearm with this. It's just very difficult to hold properly. That was an okay shot out of the Busby dart. Sorry, Hasbro. Anyway, that's my review of the Rebelle bow. It's got a cool shell. It would be fun to hydro dip, but if I was going to sink any time into hydro dipping something like this, you better believe it would be a good blaster and one that's fun to use. And I don't think that this is either. There are fun bow blasters to use. The Strata bow is insanely fun to use. I've used it at SENC Wars not only to great performance, but also for a ton of fun. This would just be frustrating with those severe inconsistencies in not only accuracy but also range. I'm just very disappointed in it, and I'm sorry that I spent money on it. But if I haven't convinced you not to buy it and you absolutely have to have one of these to complete your Everdeen collection, there will be a link to it in the description box below where you could purchase it on Amazon. You could also request a mod guide for this one, but there's no way I'm cracking this blaster. I just don't have the time for something that I enjoy as little as this. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. If nothing else, it kind of gave you a ton of perspective on what Rebelle has been up to recently. And the answer is, hopefully the corner shot is better.